Welcome to the ESPN first round matchups, previewing by Atown 00 and Atown 02. Commissioner Shane Spellman, a league that has been going on for 3 years now, very competitive and violent at times in this fantasy group chat. The first round matchup consists of Pat, the Chi-Town underdogs, against the face-ass Hunters 9K. It's a young quarterback showdown consisting of Daniel Jones and Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray was just added to Team Patrick via Team with Team Island. He sent Lamar Jackson over to the island for Kyler Murray. Pat gave up on Lamar Jackson, as he should, but he gets a very good young quarterback. Derrick Henry, playing Jacksonville, 29th ranked defense, had 25 carries for 84 yards, only 8.4 fantasy points. Yes, Derrick Henry has a very high projection right now at 20.6. I don't see it going over. I do see it going under. The Jags defense is very underrated. I really like Gaskin in this kind of game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Could see them get down early. Gaskin is a very good receiving back as he is a rusher. But I think if they do get down early, Gaskin could see a lot of receptions out of the backfield, a lot of checkdowns from Tua. I see Devontae Parker also struggling with a very improved secondary from the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, I do see Parker at under 12 for sure. Gesicki about 6 to 8 as well. Gaskin, 12.8 seems like a good projection. He could go over if they get down early and see a bunch of checkdowns by Tua. They're not going to want to embarrass Tua to the Kansas City Chiefs this week. Mike Evans could be a very big red zone target against Minnesota, but Godwin is back. Brady, coming off a bye, has been very good throughout his career, and hopefully Brady and that offense can get up to par on what they were on track to be, some superstar high-powered offense. Yes, I agree. Mike Evans, great matchup against the young secondary. The over-under right now is 52.5. I'd hit that over. Expect a shootout. His projection is 13.3 right now. I see 20 to 25 with the potential of 2 touchdowns. Also, I see that Pat has Logan Thomas on his bench. I think you should start him over Mike Gesicki. I just see a bigger turnout, especially after Logan Thomas's big outing last week on prime time against the Steelers. And one player I think Pat should consider also is Mike Williams. Herbert coming off one of his worst games as a pro. I think he really comes back and does great. I think should be considered over J.D. McKissick in a big way. All right, so that is Pat. Now going to face-ass eating Hunter, 9K. Herbert, coming off one of the worst games of his career, losing 45-0 to Belichick. Belichick had his number, but he's got a very easy matchup against Atlanta, the 32nd ranked passing defense. Yes, and Face Hunter was talking all day about trades, and man, did he do it. He got Chubb and Ridley last second in a deal that sent C-Mac over to Team Island. I think it gives Face-Ass Hunter a very good chance at a win now, which isn't a win now type of situation where he has to win this week to move on. Going back to Justin Herbert, his projection is 21. I see a 20 to 25 point outing. Believe he pays off. Akers already paid off for him. He's been believing in him all year, and it finally paid off tonight. Corey Davis coming from Scotty's team. I think that's another great addition from Nick Steffen. I think Corey Davis has been playing great to the middle of the later part of this year, and I could really see it paying off here in week 1. I believe Nick got a lot from Zebo Island in the trade, but on Monday night against the Baltimore great run defense, I don't see Nick Chubb getting 14. I see more like an 8 to 10 getting boxed. As we see right now, Nick Steffen is projected, Face-Ass Hunter is projected to win this matchup, but I see Gronk as a big wild card coming off a bye, getting more reps with Tom Brady in that offense. Gronk could have a big game, could have a bad game. That could be the difference of this matchup between Face-Ass Hunter 9000 and Chi-Town underdogs. I love the matchup for Chark. Baker Mayfield threw for 280 and 4 touchdowns in the first half against Tennessee. That Tennessee defense is thinking crazy right now. Chark could beat them down. Chark's going to have a big day. I think home field for Beth could also mean a ton late in this matchup come Sunday night. And lastly, I see Corey Davis. He's projected 12.8 right now, but I see him getting around 20 for sure. Gronk over 9.4 as well. Booker is mad sus. I'm saying mad sus, but you don't really got anybody to play.
Mad fucking sus, boys.
You don't got anybody to play for him, so that's tough.
Our next matchup is Vince versus Shane. We're going to start with Vince. 2 new key additions, both at the running back position. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Kenyon Drake. I had them both in my team. Very average at best backs, but they can do the job, and they have some firepower in them.
All right. Vince tried the Higbee cheese Thursday night to try to steal a few points on the road at Shane Spellman, and it did not pay off. He's going to need a big day out of Deshaun Watson that would pair with Kiki Cootie. I feel like Deshaun Watson will hit his 20.7 projected over. I see a 20 to 25 point week out of him. The Bears defense has been playing sus all week. Stafford lit him up. I see Deshaun doing the same, giving him payback for why they did not draft him.
Julio Jones is also a nice addition. His injury history has been bad. This season has been his entire career. But we all know what Julio Jones is capable of. He's had 250-yard receiving games with multiple touchdowns. If he can have one of these kinds of games, I give Vince Bellera a slim shot, even with a 40 or 50 point performance out of Julio Jones. I just think he's very outmatched in this game. The best shot I see at Vince pulling off one of the biggest comebacks in fantasy football history is a huge day from Julio Jones. And honestly, a couple of injuries or COVID cases from Team Spellman.
I also love his running backs this week. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I feel like they can get out to a big lead and just run it down to him. I see 20, 25 totes on the ground. I will guarantee you a touchdown on the goal line. Drake, he's a must start. I see him getting the under. His projection's pretty high, 13.8. He's very touchdown dependent lately. He's gotten 4 touchdowns in the last 3 games. I don't really see that. Ayuk, tough matchup, but he's coming off a great game against the Bills. I see him over projecting at 11.5. Cootie, as I said, I see Cootie and Deshaun Watson hooking up a few times. And Julio's under, sadly. I think Ridley has the big game there. I think they both could, but if I saw one of them, I think Ridley with the number 2 corner has the big day. But Julio is the wild card. If Julio goes off, he has a chance against Shane Spellman.
And now over to Shane. Shane had an obvious advantage in this year. After really cheesing the system of his own league, he threw games to get players, flipped them for other players, and now look at that squad. That squad is nothing anybody wants to mess with. You've got Swift, Taylor, McLaurin, Keenan Allen, Thielen, even Travis Kelce, who just got rated 99 in Madden. This team is scary on paper, but you know, when you have the big names in fantasy football in the playoffs, that can hurt you.
I see Ryan Tannehill having a sneaky good game this week. He's only projected 18.6. I do see Henry stealing the show, but that helps Tannehill. With the play action to A.J. Brown and Corey Davis, I see them hitting on a few.
Swift running against the Packers defense, he might run all over them. The best chance Bellera has in trying to stop this from happening is an injury in the first or second quarter, or maybe AP getting goal line totes, but I don't see that happening with Swift coming back from injury. Best wide receivers in the league, in my opinion, Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, McLaurin. If you want to consider Travis Kelce a receiver because he's a tight end, this receiving core is just very overpowered. Win probability over 60%. I can't see a way Bellera wins this matchup.
I love the DeAndre Swift play. He's only projected 13.7 right now, but I see him getting 18.25. Could be a 30-point week this week with 2 touchdowns. JT, hot streak keeps going. Vegas defense has been very bad, especially the run defense. Keenan Allen, Thielen, and Terry all have big weeks. If there was one to go under, I see Thielen, but I see all 3 hitting their projected, if not more. Travis Kelce can never go wrong. Only projected 16.6. I think he should be projected close to 20 every week. Jerry Jeudy, not a very strong play, but the whole rest of his team is superstars. He should be projected 160. I see him going 160, 180, blowing the doors off Bellera. I don't give Bellera a chance in this one.
All right, over to Browntown versus Iron Lawrence.
Love this one.
Taysom Hill acquired from Atown 0-0 earlier in the week. Taysom Hill honestly has been playing great at quarterback. You get his run option. He's been running in a lot of touchdowns at the goal line, taking a lot of points away from Kamara. And this could be big in this game where Taysom Hill is playing against Kamara. And in this kind of matchup, when Browntown comes in at an underdog, the win probability is at 50% after a rough game from Robert Woods here on Thursday night. I see a chance that Browntown wins, and there are very many ways he can get this done.
Yes, I agree. Tyson Hill will get his projection with a run-heavy game. His projection is 19.9. He's exceeded that in 2 games. When he needs to come to play, he will. He will get a rushing touchdown, and that will help Browntown. I also think Melvin Gordon, coming off the hot game, I see a 14 to 18 points. James Robinson, I don't really see the workload there. I see him in the backfield catching passes, but I see a 10 to 12 tote week. I don't see him getting 18.5. I like the under there.
I think Browntown stars really need to show up. J-Rob at Tennessee, good matchup. Tennessee has a green rushing defense. And I also think Chris Godwin, coming off of injuries, Browntown just acquired him. I think it's very important that Chris Godwin gets in the passing game with Tom Brady early and often against that Vikings defense off a bye.
I like Jarvis Landry here, but I think the Browns are going to get boxed. So I don't know. If you think he can get 8-9 catches with 100 yards, play him, but he's not getting a touchdown. I can see it being a very lopsided game, and Jarvis gets his points late in the fourth quarter in garbage time. I really like the Baltimore spread. I think it could be a 30-7 game very easily. Chris Godwin, I think his projection 13.5 is very doable. Mike Evans, 100% getting his over. Chris Godwin, probably a very young secondary for the Minnesota Vikings. Jamison Crowder against Seattle, I like his over in his projection. 10.8, not very high, number 1 wide receiver. Sam Darnold's been slinging it all right lately. I see the Jets covering 13.5, 14 points in different books. Robert Tonyan, the leader and touchdown catches from the tight end position, tied with 99 overall, Travis Kelce. I like the play there. Marvin Jones, 13 is a little high, but the Packers secondary has been sus. Jair Alexander will be on him all game though, so I like Marvin Jones under, but Swift's over is going to be good, like I said.
I think this could come down to Monday night, where you see Jarvis Landry playing against Kareem Hunt. If this game is within 10 points, this could be the game of the week.
I can see Peyton losing and putting up a duck, 90 to 115 points. I would give him a projected of 102. I don't like where his squad is right now. I see a lot of under the projections.
Come on, P-Dubs. Now we're going over to Iron Lungs, where Rodgers is playing at an MVP level and has a very favorable schedule the rest of the way, where he's playing a couple of division foes who he's played his entire career and it's just whooped up on. The Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears, both on the road, but both comfortable in playing in those kinds of situations.
I really like Aaron Rodgers here. He's projected 23 point. Let me pull this up real quick. Hold on.
23.88.
All right, 23.88. I really like Rodgers. He's been over that, I think, 4 or 5 times in the last 6 or 7 games, playing at an MVP level. As Mahomes is a little bit up ahead of him, he's going to try to outshoot him. It's going to be a very close race, as Mahomes is only a slight favorite at minus 272. He will stay hot against this horrible team. 25 plus out of Aaron Rodgers, I'll guarantee it.
Kamara is very Breeze dependent, as we see Breeze is not back this week. I think Kamara gets under his projection, honestly. I know it's not high. It's about 15 or 16, depending on what league you're in, full point PPR or 0.7 like we are in. I think he can get under this 15 and gives Browntown a chance to win this game, as the win probability is only 50-50 right now.
Yeah, I don't really like your running backs, Iron Lungs, this week. Mozart, I see him getting the under. Stingy Washington defense, very good on the run, very good pass rushers. I could see them behind early. Washington is coming off hot. Alex Smith played well. Alvin Kamara, I also see the under. 12 to 14 points from Alvin Kamara. I see Taysom Hill taking the workload with Lat Murray in the backfield.
Darren Waller could see a dip in touches, I think. A historic game, 200 yards last week against that pitiful Jets defense. He's coming up. He's playing a very tough and good defense in Indianapolis. I see Waller way under projecting, maybe in the 4 to 5 range. I think Indy will really center in on Darren Waller, as he had 200 yards receiving last week, and I think it's going to be a tough day for that Las Vegas offense.
I see Allen Robinson going crazy, 20 to 25. Mitch loves him. Mitch targets him. Robert Woods, not a very good outing, which leaves Browntown in this game, unfortunately. Brandon Cooks, I see him playing very well. 16 to 20 range for Brandon Cooks. I see, as I said, I see Deshaun Watson going nuts. It's going to be a shootout between Mitchell Trubisky and Deshaun Watson. Bears could be losing. Is it 6 or 7 in a row? Whatever it is.
7 in a row.
7 in a row. I do see Waller going back-to-back with pretty good weeks. Waller against Indy, projected 14. I could see him getting his projection maybe a little higher if he gets a touchdown. Carr's going to keep trusting him. He doesn't really have any wide receivers. Nelson Aguilar, Henry Ruggs, they're not very good. Hunter Renfrow, I just see him force-feeding Darren Waller as he should.
I see, when I look at Tristan's roster, I see a lot of red opponents. I don't see one green. I think this could hurt him in the long run, not drafting, not trading, not acquiring players with good playoff schedules, as Zebo Island preaches each and every year.
I see TB, he should be projected 120, 125. His early projection was 132 with the home field. I think he had home field, right?
Yes, he does.
All right, he has home field. He was projected 132 with the home field. I had him projected 120, 125. That's very high for him. I see his running backs under projecting. I don't see it. I see him very easily beating Browntown this week, though, for sure.
I see Luka visiting Zebo Island. Russ gets back on track versus the Jets, and I also think DK Metcalf goes right with them. I can see them both over-projecting maybe by 10 or 15 points each. I think Luka could really win this game, and I see a lot of valuable, easy matchups. As I said, Russ, DK against the Jets. They got to get back on track, though. Seahawks have been struggling, but against the Jets defense, who doesn't get it back on track?
I see home field having a play in this game. The only play this week I see home field having an effect. I think Zebo has a chance. I think Russell Wilson has another tough game, even against the Jets. I think the Jets cover. 18 to 20 for Russell Wilson's projection, 21. I see him getting right around 21, so his projection's all right there. Ronald Jones plays second fiddle to Lenny. I think Lenny has the big day. Even though no running back will have the big day, I think Lenny has the better day, as they are having a shootout with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, and Rob Gronkowski.
I totally disagree with them, Luka. I think your players are really underprojected this week. I think James Conner coming back from COVID, I think he could get his 12 or 13. I think DK could be in the 25 to 30 range. Russ in the 20 to 25 range. Jefferson, very good addition from Jacob. I think Juju can do good. Tyler Boyd against the Dallas defense, who knows? Could go for 1, could go for 15. And that Bears defense against Houston, I think they could get really touched up. Deshaun Watson has been playing very good lately. But I think this could be one of the game of the weeks, and I wouldn't be surprised if this goes either way.
I have DK Metcalf scoring at least 1 touchdown guaranteed. I see him hitting his over. Russell Wilson I feel like DK Metcalf is going to be the only player that shows up. Seahawks are going to win rather easily by 7, double digits, 10, 13, somewhere in between there. But I see DK Metcalf going off. I also see Juju having a big day, 15 to 20. The only star out of the 3 wide receivers, Deontay Johnson, Juju, and whatever his name is. Claypool, yeah. I see Jet having a big day as Kirk has to throw the ball down the field and top Tom Brady. I see Jet going for another 20 points again. Boyd against Dallas. Mad sus. But it's against Dallas Cowboys, as I just said.
Mad sus is fucking right.
There's always a chance against the Dallas Cowboys. I see Boyd getting 8 catches, 60 yards, 14 points, no touchdown. I see Luka. I had him at 118, 123. He came in at 122.3, so right on.
The Will Fuller suspension could hurt, but I think Luka has managed his team very well through the first 13, 14 weeks of this season. I think he's got a lot of depth. And Tyler Boyd at a backup flex position that he could just plug in right for Will Fuller is not a very bad option at all. Actually, rather healthy in my opinion.
All right, so now the last team, Zebo Island, gets to play at home. He just traded Kyler Murray for Lamar Jackson after Lamar Jackson just had a big week. A+ trade I give for Zebo. I think Lamar's getting right back on track. MVP form right when you need him.
I agree. Great trade from Zebo. I don't know what Pat was thinking. I think Kyler Murray has fallen off a little bit. He had an injury in that Rams game a couple of weeks ago. and his shoulder has not been the same since. Hasn't been throwing as well, hasn't even been running as much at all. When he doesn't run for 30 yards in a game, he's 1 in 10 in his career, and honestly, I don't think he gets it this week either. But the trade that Zebo Island pulled off against Shane needs to be talked about. Nick Chubb for Jacobs, which he flipped Chubb for C-Mac. C-Mac will not be back this week, but he does get his replacement. And I think Mike Davis can have a rather decent week. And if he can get past Luka, C-Mac against Atown 02 could be a great matchup. If not, pulls off a huge upset there.
I see Aaron Jones with the under. His projection is 18 right now. It's a bad Detroit team, but I see Aaron Rodgers getting 3 touchdowns as he wants that MVP very badly. He's 2 touchdown dependent right now. I see 12 to 14 points out of Aaron Jones. Mike Davis, I see a 16 totes for 96 with 1 touchdown, 17 to 20 points. Also, Amari Cooper, way too low of a projection. He's gotten over 11.4 in most games this year. Dan DiNucci is not playing right now. The Red Rifle comes in to Cincinnati, his old team, and murders them. I think Amari Cooper gets at least 20 points here. Claypool puts up a stinker though, 6 to 10, so that equals out. Deebo Samuel, I also don't think he gets his projection. 10 to 12, I don't think he hits over 12. Eric Ebron's a nice play, but not great. I think he gets 10, and I love Wayne Gallman here. Wayne Gallman, I could see going for another 100-yard game. 2nd in a row. 17 to 20 points out of Wayne Gallman.
There's lots of promise and hope rising in the organization over at Zebo Island, as he had a pretty shitty first 13 weeks. But at the trade deadline, this man was wheeling and dealing, and he pulled all the right strings on paper. We'll just see how it pays off in week 1.
As Zebo is projected 122.8 to Luca's 123.9, or 122.9. It's by 0.1 points, but he does have the home field. When I was going over the statistics, I saw Zebo at a 118 to 130 projection. I think home field takes it today. I really do.
I really do like Zebo in this matchup, but
too.
this could be the game of the week.
Game of the week for sure. I think home field takes it. Luke is going to be going home because of home field. It's tough.